right. Okay, student, listen up. Student, listen up. Assignment 2 will be due on May 5th. Okay? And one student asked about the question number 5. Who answered this previous one? Okay. I'm going to introduce this today. You need to sketch. Sketch means hand drawing. 你要画一下. Okay, not just go website, Google and copy and paste. Okay, I want you to sketch and write down the function. But you don't need to write very fancy one. 不用画得很复杂. Okay, but I need you to list all the basic elements. Are you okay with that? Sketch. Okay, sketch means 用手画. Okay, you don't need to draw very fancy. 你不用画得很复杂. But those basic, those fundamentals, okay, 那些必须的 those fundamental elements, 那些必须的结构你必须要画出来. Understand? Okay, don't just go to don't just Google and copy and paste. I'll give you 这个. 如果你去 Google 然后直接贴上去，那是几分啊? Okay, I won't give a question like that. Okay, think about it. It's impossible. Understand? 不可能就是去 Google 剪贴嘛，不可能。你懂意思吗 ？OK 吗？你懂吗？
我懂。
不可能，不可能有作业是这种，不可能有这种作业。Okay, it's impossible that. Think about it. It's impossible to have assignment. You just Google it and just copy and paste. No way for that. Okay, sketch means need hand drawing. Okay, but because some questions I haven't finished, I will finish today. Okay, let's start with this land filling. Okay, last time I told you like the land buildings, 垃圾掩埋场. This is the legal. Okay, two keywords for land building. Legal and control. So that means this is the legal and control placement for solid waste into the ground. Okay? So you cannot just bury your waste into the ground. You need license. Okay, so the land filling is totally different from dumping. Okay, you cannot dump the solid waste as you wish. Okay, 你不可以随意丢垃圾，随意埋那些垃圾。It's impossible. So the two keywords for land filling is it should be legal and control. It should be planned and engineered. So we are going to talk about question number 5 today, right? Tell you how to design a landfill. Okay, and legal means it should be regulated. Okay, it should be regulated. If you're against the law, the government will find you. Okay? So dumping means you dump the trash illegally. And without control. So one is legal and control. The other one is illegal and control. Illegal and uncontrolled. Let me make parallel. Illegal and uncontrolled. So one's legal and controlled, the other one is illegal and uncontrolled. Because the material you bury underground will undergo chemical and biological changes. Okay? And also, you will generate something called lithium. Lithium. So lithium, what does lithium mean? Lithium means water plus dissolved pollutant from west. Okay, lithium means water plus dissolved pollutant from west. So that means that lithium not just contains organic compounds, but also heavy metals, ammonia, salt, and even some microorganisms. Understand? So not just the substance, not just organic compound. Organic compound, not just organic compounds, but also like heavy metal, ammonia, and some salts, and even some microorganisms. So lithium might smell very bad. Therefore, lithium collection and recirculation become very important for solid waste management. Understand? Okay, next, we are going to talk about I think I finished this last time, right? Okay, so I'm gonna skip this. Let's move on to this one. Okay, so this one is put a title here, non-engineered landfill. Which means not very well designed. Maybe very old-fashioned 50 years ago, right? Or what happened in the developing country. This is non-engineered landfill. As you can see, the lithium leak to the pump. Okay, Okay, and we say that lithium might contain some toxic substance. For example, like heavy metal. Heavy metal 重金属 right? It's toxic. And the rainwater enter the landfills. Okay? Because they are not well designed. They do not have something called liners. I gotta talk about this. So it's leaking. Okay? So the lithium move down to soil. Okay? Because this non-engineered landfill, does not have something called liner. Okay, we gotta talk about this. So this lithium will enter the soil. Okay, and the process is called lithium percolations. Okay, and think about this. Once lithium moves downward, it might enter what? Groundwater. Right? It might enter groundwater. So lithium is not just affect the surface water, it will also affect the groundwater. Understand? Think about this. If you live here, okay, if you live here, if there's a community here, they're gonna drink the waters with those toxic substances. Okay? The water goes to the community, might smell very bad. And people might get sick. You know what I'm saying here? So here, as I write down here, lithium solid waste will stay there. The problem is lithium. Lithium is the major concern to the public health. Lithium is the byproduct, the substance dissolved in water, right? Generated from landfill. Okay, it will not just affect the surface water, it will also affect the groundwater. It will affect both groundwater and surface water. We might consider groundwater is more pure than the surface water, right? But not in this case. 我们有时候会认为地下水比较纯净，可是 not in this case. In this case, both groundwater and surface water are contaminated, are dirty. The people live around here might get sick. Think about it, you drink a soup, and this soup, or you drink water, and this water is made from trash. How disgusting, right? So 50 years ago, 100 years ago, people they do not have technologies to design. They do not have knowledge to design or to engineer landfill. But now we have knowledges. Okay? I'm gonna skip this. This is the, as I say, right? This is the component in lithium, right? The composition in lithium. Okay, as I say, the organic compound, heavy metal, right? Ammoniums. And also landfill will produce some gas. Keep this one in mind, not pure methane. It's a mixture of all kinds of gases. Although methane and carbon dioxide occupies majority, but it still contains some other gases. Okay? Okay. The reason landfill can produce gas because, okay, those organic waste decompose under anaerobic 无氧的状态 anaerobic conditions. Therefore, the landfill gas is not pure methane, although methane and carbon dioxide occupy the majority. And keep this one in mind, both of them are greenhouse gases. And also, methane. We know methane is flammable. It's flammable and explosive. So keep this one in mind. If you do not manage your landfill well, right, it might cause some fire and explosions. Okay? So what can we do? What can we do with the leachate? The first off, we can do recycle. We can do recycle. So what does recycle here mean? Means. It means that we can collect those leachate, right? And then pump back into landfill. Okay? So recycle doesn't mean remove. Actually, it's difficult to remove. You remove the leachate, actually you need to find another place to put those leachate. Okay, it generates another problem. You know what I'm saying? So the good idea is we just put it back and we contain it, right? So, okay, not equal, Recycle doesn't mean remove. Recycle means return. Recycle means return, not remove. You remove it, you need to find another place, right? 你说把 Richard 移走，那你要找另外一个地方来放这些渗透液 Richard, right? It's kind of stupid. So we return it to it. Okay, why we want to return it? Because we say that Richard might contain some microorganism, right? So it might also help decomposition. Okay, so there are some advantages. Okay, first, so I might ask this question in the exam, right? Why we want to recycle lithium, not just remove? Okay, first, number one, because we say that lithium might contain some microorganisms, right? So it might enhance, it might help decomposition. Okay? So this is equal to number one. Second, it can help, it can provide accelerated waste stabilization. So accelerate 加速 speed up waste stabilization. So what does stabilization here means? Right? So stabilization here means make waste less reactive over time. We know some waste might cause explosion, right? So if we put back those lithium, we increase the moisture, right? We increase the moisture, we can accelerate, okay? We can accelerate sterilization. Okay? So we return the lithium, we increase the moisture. The good thing to increase the moisture is for dry materials, the decomposition will be slow, right? And second, we can stabilize the waste. The stabilization here means make those waste less reactive over time. Okay? Number three, we can reduce the volume of lithium by maximizing evaporative loss doing the recirculations. So you can just write down reduce the volume. Okay? So if I ask you why we want to recycle lithium, you just write down these three points. Okay? So I can give you some keywords. Number one, enhance. This one, enhance microbiome decomposition. Number two, accelerate means speed up. Speed up West stabilization. Number three, you can reduce the volume. Okay? Number four, okay, please run down. Number four. Number four, okay, you can add as an anaerobic filter. You can add as an anaerobic filter. Okay, you can add as an anaerobic filter. Okay, this means the wax itself help remove or degrade pollutants in the literature under oxygen. I think this one equal to, give me 1 second, let me check. So number four, is pretty much close to number one. Relative control. Okay, we can keep it. But we can write down that this means the leachate can degrade pollutants. Degrade pollutant in leachate. Under oxygen free. Oxygen free means no oxygen. Okay, under oxygen free conditions. 无氧的状态. So oxygen free condition means anaerobic. Okay, so I want to change the number to like 2, 3. Okay, you need at least 1, 2, 3. But you still remember to write down this as 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone okay? Okay, let's see the next slides. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And next paragraph is talking about how to maximize the water stabilizations. Okay, so if too much lithium here, if too much lithium do you see that? If too much lithium is added too quickly, several problems will happen. Okay, for example, like the problem will happen, like saturations. Okay, so the wells become too wet and cannot absorb any liquid. Saturation power, right? And ponding. Okay, ponding means lithium will accumulate on the surface. So lithium will accumulate. Ponding means lithium will accumulate on surface. Okay, of the landfill instead of moving down properly. And also it will generate acidic condition, which means the pH value will drop. Okay. However, this is if you have too much lithium, right? However, if you introduce your lithium slowly, okay, lithium should be introduced slowly because the high flow rate. Lithium should be introduced slowly. Okay, if you add the lithium too quick, okay, you will wash out or disturb the methodology. So what is methodology? Methodology is the microorganism. Microorganisms produce methane. And we just say that methane naturally is kind of dangerous. It's an explosive gas, right? So if methodology got disturbed, okay, if methodology got disturbed, the acid might accumulate. Okay, the acid might accumulate. All right. So this slide is talking about. is talking about the lithium. It's impossible not generate lithium. Lithium is always there in the landfill, right? And how can we deal with it? How can we treat lithium? So the good way is not to remove it. The good way is to return it, to recycle it. Okay? And there are 4 advantages, this 4. Especially 1, 2, 3, right? Especially 1, 2, 3. Okay, you need, if I give 10%, I will give like 3% here, 3% here, 3% here, 1% here. Okay. And number 4 is lithium can also act as an anaerobic filter, which means it degrades pollutants in lithium under oxygen free. Oxygen free means no oxygen. Okay? And if lithium is too much, it will generate problem like saturation ponding and acidic conditions. Okay, however, if you add, lithium should be added slowly. If you add too quick, so slowly is good. Okay, slowly is good. If you add lithium too fast, okay, if you add lithium too fast, those methanogens means the microorganism that can produce methane will decrease or will be removed. Okay, once those methanogens got removed, right? Once those methanogens got removed, the acid, write this one down. You say, oh, it's good to remove those methanogens, so no microorganism will produce methane. But the problem is, if those methanogens got disturbed, the acid will accumulate. The acid will increase. So this is also not a good thing. Okay? Okay, so we will see some units. Okay, this is not unit operation class, right? We'll see some unit. The first one is the lithium preparation unit. Okay, the first one is lithium preparation unit. Okay, so we have the tap water, 自来水, right, on the top. Okay, and enter. Okay, and this part is lithium. This part is lithium. So we can collect. So we can collect the lithium in the outlet, in the bottom. Okay. So the tap water flow in, right? And this is the solid waste, right? And we collect the lithium here. So this one is called lithium preparation unit. Okay, the second one is lithium recirculation unit. Okay, this is called lithium. So we have distributors with nozzle here. Okay, where's enter here? So these nozzles spray the lithium. Even. Okay, even, very even over the west. Okay, and some solid waste becomes sludge. Okay, becomes sludge. Okay, and the treated influent means, this means the clean liquid. Treated, right? You know treated means, right? Okay, you might think about the 治疗, but this is not, you cannot translate into 治疗. Okay, 被处理过 processed, right? 被处理过. So treated effluents. Effluent means raw out. So this is the clean liquid. Okay, so this is the lithium recirculation unit. And I think that this one also, this guy also called anaerobic. This guy also called anaerobic bioreactor. Okay, so you can see it will generate some biogas, right? Biogas can be produced, right? So biogas contain mainly methane plus carbon dioxide and some other stuff. And this one is a soil column unit. Okay, this is a column. So we try to treat the leachate, okay, enter the column containing soil, right? Okay, so we try to move through the soil. As the leachate moves through the soil, the pollutant can be removed by filtrations. Okay, so leachate moves through soil. Leachate moves through soil. Okay, and pollutant can be removed by filtration. So the concept for the soil column unit is we use filtrations for movement. The last one is we use activated 活性炭, right? So this column contains activated activated carbons. Okay, sometimes we put charcoal, 放活性炭, right? So it's very important for absorption. Many use for absorption. Okay, let's have a short break. So now is 2:12, right? Let's come back to 20.